Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Today is a historic day for Katherine Clark and her family, a historic day for Melrose, and I don't want to use the exact vernacular of our Vice President, but this is a big deal. Today is the day we begin the process. I believe it's 86 days to send Katherine Clark to the United States Congress. I'm here today not because Katherine Clark is from the city of Melrose. I hope the people that have known me over the last decade as mayor of the city, the hundreds of local officials that I've worked with, know that as a mayor, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. It doesn't matter where you were on issues yesterday. It doesn't matter where you're from. Local officials must serve the needs of the people in front of them every day. And I ask today for every local official, selectmen from Ashland and Natick, planning board members from Wayland and Weston, city councilors from Revere and Winthrop and Malden, and mayors, my fellow mayors from Malden and Medford and Waltham, to join together as an army of local officials who put our children in schools every day. Firefighters, police officers manage to do more with less every day. Let us unite together and send the local candidate, Katherine Clark, to the United States Congress. To fight for free programs for our children, food stamps, the environment, women's rights, schools, all things that are important to me. Let me tell you the Katherine Clark I know. And it might sound a little familiar to our country. 10 years ago today, we came into office. A young, inexperienced mayor and a woman with 3 young children that moved to this community. Our economy collapsed here in Melrose. People weren't working together at all. There were many rental spaces down on our main street. Our schools were falling apart, and we had a $3 million deficit, which in Melrose terms is incredible. Instead of running that way, and trust me, if your name was going to run for Congress, the least expedient political thing to do is to run for school committee at that time. She ran towards children and towards our community with me and many others who are here today. And I have never met a more sympathetic, engaging, kind, dedicated person to have worked with in my 12 years of public service in the city of Melrose than Katherine Clark. And we rebuilt this city. We rebuilt this city, and she will help rebuild America. She will help rebuild this country. And I would also like to certainly recognize her family and the many friends here today that started with that school committee member. And to see this day makes us so proud. But someone who is incredible to be here today, not only because of her rich experience in defending the people of Massachusetts, but she wouldn't say this, but I will. It's very rare that a statewide candidate who has done so much for her country and for her state, than our Attorney General, who knows all the candidates in this race and has worked with so many, would be here tonight to support Katherine Clark. I want to say that is so rare in this day in politics, and she is here today in this city to support the next congressman. Like Katherine, she has dedicated her life to the least among us, protecting the elderly, abused children. She has protected this city and this district and this Commonwealth through some of the most horrific cases in our state's history. But she fights every day for you and I. She's an incredible public servant. From North Adams, one of the most beautiful but poorest parts of our state, onto William, she could have gone anywhere, but she chose to work with great law enforcement officials like Scott Harshbarger and Tom Riley, and has dedicated her life to you and I. And for that, I thank her on behalf of the citizens of Melrose and welcome her today to our great city for Katherine Clark. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dave. Good job. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Melrose. Good morning, Melrose. happier than to be here today, and we will get you out before tonight. So we've got a couple of important things to do. Appreciate that you are here, and I'm so proud to wear my Melrose donkey here, if you can see. I got this when I was first running in 1998 for district attorney. I told our representative earlier, the little guy broke his leg at one stage, but I glued it back together. And he's fine, and he's ready to run, and he's ready to send Katherine to Congress. So, thank you, Mayor Dolan, and Rod, and family, and Katherine's parents, and all of her friends, supporters, old and new, because you know and agree with what I'm going to tell you today, is that the best person to do this job in a wide field, in a lot of good people who have chosen to put their hats in the ring, Katherine is by far the best. And let me tell you why. I've known Katherine since she first started her life in government. And as the mayor has seen her day in, day out, the kind of tasks she takes on, the projects she takes on, the work she is able to do for what she stands for and across the aisle, getting things done, which is something I appreciate. It's always easy to get up and say, I voted this way, I voted that way. Katherine gets things done. And she's tough, she's funny, she's smart, and she has a vision. And this is why I like Katherine, because I think she has the right bones to go to Washington. She has a backbone. She has a funny bone, and she has a wishbone. And let me tell you why that is important. Because you need a backbone, like Katherine has, to stand up for the things that you care about, that your constituents care about, and to get something done about them. Not just say that you care about them, but to accomplish something day in, day out, as she has done in Melrose, in the House here, in the Senate, and she will do that for you in Washington, because she's got a backbone. She also has a funny bone. You actually have to have one to be able to run for office, I think. And she, as you know, has an incredible sense of humor every day about the tough things in life, the challenges in life, but she brings that sense of humor to be a successful, not just a politician, but a successful select woman, school committee woman, and her job both in the House and the Senate and in Washington tells me that she is going to get it done. And finally, she has that wishbone. She wants and wishes for her kids, for her parents, for all of you, the kinds of things that, frankly, when we grew up, our parents wanted for us, and we were able to get in this country. And as the mayor just said, the last few years have not been fun for anybody. They have been tough in this city, they've been tough in this Commonwealth, they've been tough in this country. But we are coming out of this, and we will come out of this when we all are able to rally around someone like Katherine Clark, who has, as I said, the right bones to go to Washington. She does want that better life, and she'll talk to you very shortly, because believe it or not, Katherine is here today, and you're going to get to hear her in a minute. I think that Katherine is someone who's not only willing to lean in, as she has done, she is willing to jump in. And she has jumped in this race with a clear vision and a clear purpose, with your support. She cannot do it without you, by the way, and she knows that. She cannot do it without you today telling all of your friends and neighbors and folks you work with that look at that field and the best candidate to send to Washington is Katherine Clark. And we can do that for her and with her, and we will. She needs your help. She's going to get it. And we've got a few days. We all know how fast those days go by. We cannot waste a single day. And so, without further ado, let's give a warm Melrose welcome to our next Congresswoman, Katherine Clark!
you so much. That was a greeting. And thank you, Rob and Martha, for standing with me and for being such great friends. I am so lucky to be able to work with you, and we are so grateful for all you do for our communities and for the Commonwealth. So appreciate you being here today. And I am so proud to be joined by my family today. My husband, Rodney. We have Nathaniel and Jared, who's not feeling too well. And Addison is here with us in spirit, but still at camp in Vermont. You are the most important people in my life, and not only do you stand with me today, but you stand with me every day and on this campaign, and I am so grateful. My mom and dad are also here. They are always here for me and my family. Want to tell you a little bit about my dad. My dad lost both his parents at a very young age. And he had to make his way on his own, but he taught me that whatever obstacles life throws in front of you, you meet them, you treat people with respect, and you always do the right thing. And taking the risk to do the right thing has always been easier with you and Mom in my corner. And my mom was our school and then our town librarian growing up. And she inspired a love of books and a love of learning. But when she was in high school, she took an aptitude test for engineering and scored off the charts. But her school told her, because she was a young woman, engineering was not a viable career that she could pursue. She raised my brother and me to know that education and learning was an opportunity open to everyone, no matter their gender, no matter their income. And my brother is here as well today with his partner, Justin, who underscore for me every single day the importance of standing up for equality and for every single family. Also here are my in-laws, Art and Ladine, who support our family, and anyone who knows the Lincoln School in Melrose knows this, in extraordinary ways. And you make all things possible, even congressional campaigns. There is another family that I am especially proud of to have here today. The Nordens. Paul and J.P. Norden are brothers who were critically injured in the marathon bombings. Watching their courage and that of their incredible mom, Liz, has not only inspired me, but you have strengthened my resolve to fight for families like yours, because none of us know when our hour of need may come. And I just want to add that you are the face, you and the other victims of this horrible incident. And please join me in recognizing the Norden family. And for all those family members, that's exactly the reason I'm running for Congress. Because as a working mom with 3 boys in the public schools, a daughter trying to help her parents navigate the healthcare system, and a state senator who loves helping the people of this district, the issues that we face aren't hypothetical to me. And I'm not going to stand by and watch extremists in Congress attack a woman's right to make her health care decisions, instead of focusing on the issues that truly matter to us, our families and our communities, creating jobs, addressing climate change, investing in education, keeping our promises to our seniors and to our veterans, and stopping the epidemic of gun violence in this country. The bottom line is the issues that you and I talk about around our kitchen tables need to be the same issues on the table in Congress. And I want to go to Washington to tell those extremists that the fact that women aren't given equal pay for their work is a national disgrace. And the issue is more than equality and fairness, because when women are paid for their work equally, it helps put a little more food on the table. It helps a family save for college or help an aging parent. And the Republicans in Congress don't seem to understand something that's pretty obvious to the rest of us. Women's issues are family issues, and family issues are everyone's issues. The most basic family value in Congress needs to be valuing families. And that starts with ending the attacks on women's health, women's choices, and women's paychecks. When the Republican Congress votes 38 times to repeal Obamacare, that's time and effort taken away from helping small businesses to create jobs, to helping invest in our schools. When the radical right thinks it is okay to cut childcare and let families go hungry, but continue to protect the subsidies for big oil and corporate welfare for Wall Street, we all pay the price. We pay the price in wasted time, misguided priorities, and unsolved problems. Every moment spent by extremists as they try to restrict equality is time they aren't spending protecting Social Security and Medicare. Every time they try to cut access to health care, it's time not spent solving the very real problem, whether they want to admit it or not, of climate change. Congress cannot even get its act together to take the simplest step, the most common sense policy to reduce gun violence. Simple background checks that keep guns out of the hands of criminals and the very mentally ill. And I know a thing or two about taking on the NRA. When the NRA decided to expand a concealed weapon law so anybody could carry one without local police approval, I helped put together a coalition of law enforcement, district attorneys, victims of gun violence, and we defeated them. It's time to do the same in Congress. I know it can be done because I've done it. And I don't think that Eric Cantor and I are going to be good friends. But I do think there are issues that we can work on together that span the partisan divide, like investing in our innovation economy to find alternative energy resources, to cure chronic diseases. If we can find a cure for Alzheimer's, not only is that good for millions of Americans, it will dramatically reduce our Medicare budget, and it will create great jobs right here in our congressional district. I know that we can do better than what we're seeing out of Washington these days. And this election is a clear message to those who oppose equality and fairness for working people, to those who are willing to subsidize the wealthiest while denying opportunity to the rest of us. We want Congress to get back to work for us. And I can't promise I can single-handedly go to Congress and stop every radical attack on our rights, but I can promise you this. I will go to Washington and bring your priorities with me. I will stand up to extremists every time they try to turn the clock back on women's rights. I will stand up for equality every chance I get, and I will protect our seniors and our veterans. And I will wake up every single day ready to fight to strengthen our families and fight for our children. They are being hurt by a Congress that was sent there to serve them. And when I go to Washington, I'm going to bring your concerns, your priorities, your voice, because they are my concerns and my priorities. But I need your help to get there. So I'm asking you to join me over these next few months. Talk to your friends and neighbors. Come with me and knock on some doors. And spread the word about what's at stake in this election. And let's bring home a victory on October 15th.